Hello, welcome back to 3D Drawing for Your Model Railway. I'm fully aware it's been a while since I've done the last update on the series, but real life work's got in the way. But it's time to get back on with the PUM and start working through some of the details that we've left off so far. So in the last episode, we were working around the area of the pipes here. So I'm going to continue in that area today. I'm going to add in this small box, the control panel. I'm not sure I'm going to put the handles on for the hydraulics, because I think that would just be too delicate to print and it would getting damaged. And we'll put the control panel up here with all the LEDs and lights on. So in the last episode, we added on all these pipes and handrails and stuff that go around here. So we're going to continue working in this area for the moment. I'm going to start with this small little box down here, which looks quite straightforward. There is a little triangle piece on the bottom to cut out, and I'm going to go all the way to the base on it. I'm not going to leave this gap, whatever that is, just for ease of printing really. So going back into Fusion, I'm going to create a sketch, place it on this bottom surface. Okay, it's spun itself around, which is fine, I can deal with that. We'll draw the rectangle, and I'm going to select onto the same position of this handrail. Comes out the same size, so it's 2.5, and it looks like it goes about 2/3 of the way across. So yep, we'll go with that. We'll go 2.5 by 2.5. Okay, and then we can select that and extrude that upwards. Let's rotate this round. Height wise, where are we coming up to? So I'm going to go to up it comes. I think I'm going to go to about 2mm. Tell that to join, make sure it's not a new body. Click on OK. And then so we've got this triangle piece on here. So we create a sketch on that face. Just going to draw a line tool and have a quick look at the picture. So it's about 2/3 of the way up, so I'm going to go to about that height and come down. So that's coming down to the base there. Define distances. So we'll go from 0.7 by 1.55. And then extrude that. Oops, spin it around so we can see it to the back face. And cut. And that'll leave us that triangle piece on there. Next thing I'm going to do is just put this little panel in here. Just goes between the two handrails and it's got all the controls. I'm not going to draw the control handles in because I think they'll be just too delicate and they'd end up just getting snapped off. So I'm just going to do the backing plate really. So go back into Fusion and it's going between these two here. So again, I'm just going to create a sketch on the front surface. And I'm going to slice through to it so I can actually see the piece I'm using. Let's have a quick look on there. So it sort of goes level with where the square section ends. So it is at this point. And we'll go across. Because that's not seeing this, I'm going to project that line on. Again, come back to the rectangle. Then it will snap across. Height wise, not particularly big. Maybe 1.5mm. Let's escape that one. It should be that's 1.5. And we'll snap that to there. Let's redefine that. That line to that line. 1.5. And then I'm just going to extrude that to the back edge of those pipes, making sure to join, not new body. So that's where the control panel would sit on there. Okay, so for this panel on the back here with the switches on, there's no real clear photo that shows what it's actually connected to. So I'm going to attach it to the back of this unit that we've been drawing here and use a bit of modeler's license on this really. So I'm going to select this back face, slice through, and then I'm going to create a rectangle. In fact, before I do that, I'm going to project on that line and that line, and then draw a rectangle start with that position, come across. I'm going to come up to a height. Does it go above that? Yeah, a little bit. So I'm going to go above this handrail here. I'm going to do about 4mm, I reckon, by 4.5. And I'm going to select all of these parts and then extrude that. Do I actually want to do that? Because that's going to wreck this handrail. Let's cancel that. And we'll undo that. We will draw the rectangle from this line across. So we'll do 4.1 by 4mm. And then extrude that, because then we'll keep the handrail to that front surface. Tell it to join. Yeah, because at least I'm keeping that handrail there, it looks okay then. And then we just got the smaller rectangle for the switch box to go on. I'm not going to draw the circles on because it's so small it won't print particularly well, or won't be seen particularly well. So just going to draw something like this. Let's go for 2mm by 1.2. Define its position. And extrude it. 1.5mm. The next thing I'm going to add is the hydraulic ram in the center. Now I'm going to have my ram positioned so that the wagon would be loaded, so that the unit would be loaded inside wagons. So I want the legs all the way retracted and the silver part of the ram itself won't be visible. You just be able to see this casing on the top. So we're going to go back into Fusion, make sure we select the body 2, which is the one we're drawing on there, and we're going to make a sketch on the top surface. I'm going to find the midpoint between, project that line, find the midpoint between those two lines there. So I need to first of all work out how far they are apart, which is 1.1. So let's find the midpoint along this one, come across, and I'm going to do a ram that's 1.5mm. Dimension from the center point to that line. So you could do the mental maths yourself, but I'll show you another way to do maths. So you could do the 1.1 divided by 2, and that would find your center point if you were trying to work out with more complex numbers. Then I can put a constraint for the midpoint on that line. You won't do it. It's not a problem. We'll just go from there to the end, and it's 1.1 millimeters for me. Select all parts of that circle, and I'm going to extrude that. Let's turn this round. Height wise, it's going to go level with the other rams there. So about 3 millimeters. Tell that to join. You can see a little bit of the ram coming down, so we'll put one underneath as well. Bit of sketch on that in surface. Let's do a smaller one in here because it would be the smaller ram. So yeah, we'll go 1.1. And I'm going to extrude that down. I'm going to come down below this midpoint here. So I'm going to come down 3 millimeters on mine. Tell it to join. Okay, so the next few things I'm going to look at adding these little bump stops that we've got here. I'm guessing so they don't bash into each other. Should be quite simple, they're just small little rectangles. And I'm going to place these on the inside surface of the I-beams on the end. So it's sort of just offset from this inside foot of the engine. So we can put it about that position there, I reckon. So it's 0.4 square. And we'll define the distance from the edge, 4.55, and extrude that. I'm going to extrude it by 1 millimeter, tell it to join. And then we're going to use the mirror tool. So the chassis mid-plane there. So we can do mirror feature, select that, do it on the mid-plane. And then we need to find the mid-plane down the middle of the chassis, which would be that one. So again, just using the mirror tool, select the extrusion and the mirror. The mirror plane is going to be plane 2, which is the mid-plane on the unit. And that's all 4 of those now drawn on again. Okay, so the last one I draw in this episode is this part here, which is duplicated on the opposite end. It's only on the this same side of the PUM, so again we just draw one and then mirror it across. So it's going to go on this face here. So I'll draw a sketch on that surface. And if we look at its position, it's going to have this bit in line with the rail. So I'm going to start by just drawing that back plate roughly in line where their rail goes. And before I actually get that, I'm going to project that on as well. Height wise, let's have a look. So it goes slightly above to about level with this bit here. So rectangle, I'm going to go from about that position to there. Okay, let's define the size. Let's go for 3 millimeters by 2 millimeters. distance from the edge. Okay, we'll go for 1, and the height from that top edge there, 0.6. Select these faces, and we're going to extrude. Let's say 0.3, tell it to join. So quick look, how's that look? Actually, I'm going to come a little bit more. Go 0.4, just so that it's not flush with this. Okay, then I'm going to draw this upright part here. Again, drawing that front face, rectangle, coming from that position to slightly below. Let's define the width from the edge of that face as 0.35, 0.35, and we'll do the same on the other side. Height from the top there, and 1.3, and I'm just going to stick from the bottom there as 0.5. Okay, and then we can extrude those three. I'm just going to extrude by 0.3 and tell that to join. What I'm going to do is reduce the height of this second one actually. Just going to change that to 2.8, I think. Which doesn't sound like a lot. It's just going to bring that up slightly. And then I might just reduce this one as well a little bit. Okay, so there's a couple of blocks there at top and bottom. Okay, so we go midpoint there. Across, let's just check that dimension. 0.18. We can do that line midpoint to that one. Nope, it's not going to work. We can extrude that. Go 0.4, tell it to join. Let's go back in there actually. Okay, that didn't want to do that. Sit into that sketch there and define the height. 0.7, and we'll do the same on this edge. So we can draw that there like that, and then we can do vertically, horizontally constrain that to that point to that point. Define the height again 0.7, so it's matching. And then we can select all 4 of those, extrude 0.4 and join. Yep, that's sticking out. And it's got a little L bracket on the end here. Going to draw it on the back face of that. spin that round. So 1.8 long by 0.4, and then another one from there downwards, 0.4 by 0.4. Select them and extrude. I'm going to go 0.5, tell it to join. And then we're going to mirror this whole lot across the mid-plane. So mirror, features, selecting those four. The mid-plane will be the chassis mid-plane there. Put it on the other end. Okay, so I think that's about it really for that. I'm not going to draw the two little eyelets on the top because as you can see they're quite small. Again, they're just going to get damaged. So looking over the photos and the model we've got here, I think this part of the unit is pretty much complete, and I think I'm going to do a test print at some point in the next few weeks to see how that comes out. I'm not going to finish the series there though, because if we look at the original photo that we said we were working to achieve, there's these extra parts in the middle here that's loaded, which are the little chassis that are used to transport the track on while they're moving it around the work site. So I will be coming back and I will be editing a drawing to add those in so that we can add those into the wagon when we've finished them all. So hope you've enjoyed this and you can follow this along and complete this and just maybe use these in a siding if you want to for the time being. So yeah, that's me complete on this one, I think, and I obviously will be adding more videos to the channel just as and when time dictates, because I am restricted with regards to what I can do around work at the moment. So thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed the video.